Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us for our lunchtime chats with Tlingit Haida. My name is Richard Peterson. My Tlingit name is Shakya Ish, and I serve as the president of Tlingit Haida. We're excited for you to join us today, learn a little bit about some of our educational assistance and programs. We've been holding these series of lunchtime chats as a way to really reach out during this pandemic and beyond, and have folks be able to learn more about our programs, meet the folks running these programs, and be able to offer your questions and participate in a way that hopefully offers you a chance to learn more. Again, this week we're talking about educational assistance programs and services. I'm excited to have with us Sarah Dibdahl, our Cultural Heritage and Education Director, Christina Vasquez, our Higher Education Technician, Teresa Sarabia, who runs our Tribal Vocational Rehabilitation Program as our manager, Barbara Togg, who's an Employment and Training Caseworker, and then Jesse Parr, our Temporary Assistance for Needy Families Manager. Thank you, folks, for joining us on the panel this week. I'm really proud of you and the work that you do, and proud to have you with me today. Why don't we just go down and have you introduce yourselves, Sarah?
Good afternoon, everybody. Tlingit Haida Anshawatki Yuchat Duasak. My name is Sarah Dibdahl. My Tlingit name is Anshawatki. I am Takwan AD from Hinyaquan. I serve as the Cultural Heritage and Education Director for Tlingit Haida, going on 3 years, and just very happy to be here with you all today.
Thank you, Sarah. Christina?
Good afternoon. I'm Christina Vasquez, and I am Higher Education Technician with Tlingit Haida.
Thank you. Teresa?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Teresa Sarabia. I am Tlingit Yek. I am with the Gonaktidi clan. On my father's side, I'm Dukding Tan Yeti. It's great to be here. Thank you, President Peterson.
Thank you, Teresa. Barbara?
Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Togg. I am the training caseworker for employment and training. I've been with the tribe since 2004. Thank you.
Thanks, Barbara. And last but not least, how about Jesse?
Thanks, President Peterson. Yeah, I'm Jesse Parr, born and raised in Juneau, and I've been working as the Tanf program manager for just 2.5 years. But happy to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Jesse. You know, with the holidays coming up, we recognize it's the end of fall semester and beginning of second quarter. Tlingit Haida is cheering on our tribal citizen youth who are finishing up their last few weeks of school. Today, we wanted to showcase our educational assistance programs and services just in time for a new calendar year. Whether you are attending trade school, college, or university, our programs and services can help you. So I'll get started with the questions. We have some questions that we've developed, and then at the end, I want to encourage those that are tuned in to please on Facebook keep giving us your questions. We'll try to get to all those that we don't get to today. We'll make sure that we provide answers in the comment section. So please bring your questions. Also, if you like it, like this as you're watching it, you'll be entered in for some door prizes at the end. Hey, Christina, I'll start with you. Can you provide us with an overview of the College Student Assistance Program, i.e., eligibility requirements, application deadline, and how funding is determined?
Yes, sir. Our College Student Assistance Program helps students who are seeking a degree to an accredited college, both full-time and part-time. That includes online as well. We serve our compact communities. That's Haines, Juneau, Kasan, Pelican, Saxman, and Tenakee. And it goes off of a point system. The maximum a full-time student can get is $3,000 an academic year, and part-time would be half of that, $1,500. We do not have a deadline for our college student assistance. As long as you are attending and it is not a summer term, you can apply for a scholarship.
Great. So what kind of expenses does your program cover?
Our college student assistance goes towards the students' tuition and books at the school. It goes straight to the school itself.
Great. So another financial assistance source under the higher education program is the Alumni Scholarship. Can you give us an overview of the Alumni Scholarship?
Yes. Like the College Student Assistance Scholarship, we do only full-time for this one, and it serves compact and non-compact communities. So the Alumni Scholarship is based off of fundraising that we do each year and can assist with students' tuition, books, food, clothing. They can use it however they need to use it. It's once a year. The deadline or the application period for this is July 1st through September 15th. Because it's fundraising, the amounts are different every year, and they normally get paid out in around the middle or end of December.
Great. So Sarah, turning to you, understanding that many of the typical ways we fundraise for the Alumni Scholarship were not possible this year because of the pandemic, can you talk a little bit about how the Alumni Scholarship is funded?
Yes, thank you, President Peterson. So the Alumni Scholarship is supplemental funding, and it's based on, as Christina was sharing, on fundraising, efforts that the tribe, Tlingit Haida, has been able to do over the years. And in previous years, our Alumni Scholarship was probably known for the Derby that the tribe hosted as a way of providing these supplemental funds to our students. Other efforts have been the Only Fools Run at Midnight and other, fundraising opportunities. This year, our goal was to actually host at the President's Banquet Award an auction and fundraiser, and due to the coronavirus, we weren't able to do that. And the funding for this year, out of support from the Executive Council is how we're able to fund the Alumni Scholarship for our students and applicants.
Great. Well, and the thing is, I think it's important to note that, one, this program serves our citizens no matter where they live. And unfortunately, a lot of our programs can't say that. We're confined by our funding source to service area. This is one way we can reach all of our citizens. I think the other thing that's really important that I want to reemphasize is, we can take tax deductible donations year round, and it really does help our students. It really helps lift them up and make sure that whatever hurdles they might have are a lot lessened. So, really encourage people to donate. And I know on our slide, it shows how you can donate. So I'm going to choose how for those people who do. Barbara, turning to you, for our tribal citizens who are not necessarily looking at a college or university, but are wanting to maybe attend a vocational or trade school, can you talk a little bit about what an employment and training department's program and how it can help our tribal citizens?
Yes. Most of the associate programs are usually hands-on employment, so it fits in very well with our tribal citizens because a lot of them like to work outdoors, or they're not, they don't find themselves fit to work in an office. So yes, some of the programs that they're interested in are the construction technology, the applied sciences programs, power technology, diesel, welding programs. The CDL program is a very big one, and the certified nurses assistant programs. In addition to that, we also have the apprenticeship programs. We have sponsors that are contacting us as we speak. They are looking for recruitment to help rebuild a skilled workforce. And so I'm trying to work with some of the tribal members to get them ready to apply for the apprenticeship programs that are like the carpenters, electricians, plumbers, pipe fitters, the pile drivers. The applications are different for each one. So I would just encourage if anyone is interested to just give me a call over here at the tribe at 463-7160. And I will provide the information to them. Some of the apprenticeship programs are going to be starting up again in probably the end of May, anytime between March and the end of May. Due to COVID, they had to reduce the size of the classes, and some of the programs and schools were completely closed. But now that we have the vaccine coming out and they've practiced safety, they are reopening some of the schools. It's been a slow process, but I'm hopeful that we're going to be able to help some of our tribal members be placed soon.
Great, thank you. Can you tell me, does our training program provide financial assistance for those that are going for a 2-year degree?
Yes, we do. We provide housing assistance, food, transportation, utilities. We also provide air transportation, tuition, books, fees, and supplies for eligible students. Our funding is supplemental. We encourage all tribal members to find other resources. Yeah.
So lastly, Barb, what kind of expenses does your program cover?
The ones that I mentioned. If we do have them going into like an apprenticeship program, though, in addition to that, we would also provide clothing and tools, anything that would help them reach their employment and help them maintain their employment and be successful.
Great. Well, turning over to Teresa. The Tribal Vocational Rehabilitation Program has some specific requirements. Can you talk about who TVR provides services to? You know, what are the eligibility requirements? What does the process look like?
Thank you, President Peterson. Yes, the eligibility requirement for TVR is they must be enrolled in a federally recognized tribe. They must have a disability that interferes with their ability to do their work normally performed. And a disability is any medical condition, physical or mental, that interferes with a person's everyday life, including employment. Our job is to help those either maintain or create a new vocation for them. On the other side of Barb's program, if a person can no longer work in the trades field, laborer, etc., we are here to help them transition to a new vocation. So if they have been told by their primary care provider that they cannot work in that capacity anymore, then we are definitely the person to program to come and see, and we will help them find a new vocation through assessments. And Great. We service all of Southeast Alaska with the exception of Metlakatla. Our grants are every 5 years, and they apply on their own for their own granting services. Thank you.
So you mentioned Metlakatla, that we don't serve them, and that's because they're actually technically in another region, right?
That's correct. Great. But they do get services from the State Division of Voc Rehab. We have not, if they move from Metlakatla, they certainly can apply for services.
Great. For those who receive assistance through TVR, what kind of expenses does your program cover, Teresa?
For education, we are like Barb, we're a supplemental program. but we certainly come to the table with Barbara Togg, or if they are a state Division of Voc Rehab joint case, then they come to the table. And if higher ed has actually been involved also with our clients, so we can bring strings of up to 3 to 4 different supports for the individual, because college is spendy, and if it's out of state, it's even more spendy. So Barb's program has been a great help to us, and we split the cost with the state, the monetary supports to out of state training and college. We are getting ready to put 3 into college right now. So we're excited for that. They'll be doing distance education through UAS. We just had one finished with the Penn Foster program, so she liked it and was happy with it. So we're moving forward and still open for business. Thank you.
That's great. I really appreciate this program and all you do, Teresa. Jesse, with these specific educational assistance services, how does Tanf fit into the picture and work with all these different programs we offer?
Yeah, thanks, President Pearson. So the Tanf program has 4 workforce development specialists who provide case management services to approximately 30 families apiece. So either a single or a 2-parent family. And what they'll do is they'll work with the family to do kind of an employability assessment, just to see what their vocational interests are, what their educational background is, and really what will help the family to become self-sufficient. So we'll help to, pay for tuition, align GED testing or pay for GED testing services, help the family with gas or bus, bus transportation costs to get to education, and we'll also provide laptops, et cetera, if they need to do distance education from home, and do that as their work activities is the term that we commonly use.
Great. What information needs to be provided in order to apply for TANF?
So to apply for TANF, we need to just have proof that one household member is enrolled in a federally recognized tribe. So Tlingit Haida, obviously we have over 30,000 enrolled members, but also if someone's enrolled as a Seminole, we have proof of just one household member, we're able to serve that family. For families where there's a non-custodial parent, we also need to coordinate with our tribal child support unit to make sure that there's some setup there to acknowledge that, or a claim for good cause. And also we need to really prove that someone's low income or under the resource limitations as well. So
great.
Those are kind of our main eligibility criteria.
Okay. So this question is kind of to all of you, but as we are still in the time of the COVID-19 pandemic, do your programs provide assistance to those who are interested in enrolling in online or distance education courses?
My program does do distance education and online as well.
Thank you, President Peterson. This is Teresa. We do the same as Christina mentioned. Thank you.
Good. How about you, Barb?
Yes, absolutely. We are offering online courses as we speak.
Awesome. Jesse, I imagine TANF does as well, or?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and we did prior to the pandemic, and since the pandemic, we've really been encouraging people to look to see what's available.
Great. I'm wondering, with the spring semester approaching, is there enough time for our tribal citizens to apply for services to still enroll for the spring semester? How much lead time do your programs need to process applications?
Hello, President Peterson.
Go ahead,
My program can serve as long as they are attending. So whatever term they are in, if they're in spring, they can apply during spring term. I only need about a week to process.
Okay.
This is Teresa. I work with Barb Togg. We have 60 days in which to make somebody eligible because we work with the medical primary care providers to see if they are for the disability itself. We can work quickly, but we also work with Barbara Togg to make sure that they're applying. If she can handle the first semester, then we definitely jump in at the second semester to make sure that there is no roads unturned for an individual. And it's the same, we may have them work with Christina and Barb. And forgive me, I forgot to mention, we do partner with Tanf. We get referrals from them also for schooling and for assessments. Thank you.
Great. I guess for me, the takeaway then is probably if somebody's wanting to pursue, they should really just, the sooner and the earlier, the better, right? They should really jump on those opportunities to get information as soon as possible. For those students who have applied for assistance, what tips can you provide in terms of the application process?
Right now for our program, President Peterson, I would say that is getting your addresses updated with Tlingit Haida by submitting vendor setup form. And if you want to get set up for direct deposit, we could do that as well.
Okay, great.
For TVR, we actually try and walk them through the VR process from beginning to end. And so if the quicker we get the information, the better, because we do the same. We walk them through as quickly as possible. We say 60 days, but sometimes clients already know what they want to do for their educational background or their choices, and they can help us along the way with that. So some are much quicker than others, and it just depends on all the information received. If they don't have an email, we help them create one. On the phone, we can walk them through that also. If they haven't had one before, and that certainly happens. So we're trying to help them through all the steps to get the information in and processed. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Teresa. You know, I know one of the things we're hearing right now is because of the pandemic, a lot of our folks are working remotely from home. And so I've heard the concern that clients are calling and not getting return calls. Again, I think I ask all of you to be really persistent, use email. We should be returning calls. You know, we're definitely making that a high priority, you know, but you can reach out through many different ways. And maybe even in the chat function, we can share some important email addresses and phone numbers so that folks can get that follow through. If you're not getting that follow through, I really want to hear about it. I know our staff are working incredibly hard, and I'm certainly not one to want to make any excuses, but we have had some kind of extenuating circumstances that have added to this. I know we had multiple power outages that really took our system down and didn't know that calls weren't being forwarded where they needed to. I think that's all been resolved. But, you know, the last thing I want to hear is our tribal citizens aren't getting responses they need. That it's unacceptable. And you know, on my staff's behalf, you know, nobody cares as much as these folks. They lead with their heart. They operate through our tribal values, and they take great sense of pride in seeing our citizens get the help they need to be successful in all their endeavors. So I just think that we want to make sure that we're transparent in that, and that you're getting the needs met that you have. So that really concludes our prepared comments, and I'd like to now turn over to our questions that we're getting from our audience.
President Peterson?
Oh, go ahead, Sarah.
May I just share one thing too, as far as higher ed goes? And a tip is, Christina is our one higher ed technician, so she processes all of the applications that come in. And so a tip for students is that she processes them based on how they come in. And so even though if you send it in, know that there are applications in front. And so to give that lead time, ensure that you're getting it in time to be able to process and get the check to the school. So doing it earlier in your term will help with that, so there's not stress on the students as far as squaring up with financial aid. But I just want our students to know that when they're applying, that Christina is very judicious as putting it as she receives them and process it. And that's one thing that we're, continuously sharing with our students.
Thanks for that, Sarah. Maybe someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I also believe that we send applications out to the local village tribes. So you might also, if you don't have good internet or connectivity, reach out through your local village tribe and just ask if they have assistance applications for Tlingit Haida. We really try to partner with our village tribes and work with them. And if they're not, let us know that also. If we're not getting that information out to them, we want to hear about it. Really, there should be no reason or excuse that our applications and our information are not out there. So, all right, I'm going to turn over to some of the audience questions. So, and I'm forgive if I get this name wrong, Teresita Knutson Escalante. She asked, so this does not apply to those who live out of the state of Alaska? So I believe our alumni scholarship, I believe, is the only assistance that we offer outside of our service area. Is that correct?
Hi, President Peterson, this is Christina. Our program for higher education actually goes off of where your family originates from, not where you reside. And then the alumni, again, serves all communities.
Okay. Well, we'll probably circle back around to that because I see some other questions kind of in line with that too. So thanks for that. From Vice President Catherine Edwards, is alumni scholarship available to all citizens despite where they live? And yes, I think we've covered that. Vice President Tasha Hodge, are there tribal citizen-owned businesses that we try to partner with for positions? And I would say yes. We try to make it available everywhere. We want our citizens to have every opportunity, and certainly those that own businesses, and it can be mutually beneficial. If you're a tribal citizen and own a business and would like to take this opportunity, reach out to us and let us know. We'd love to be working with you if we're not already. And I know we are with many, but we definitely like to add to that. From Ann Stepton, I originate from Angoon, but have lived in Juneau for 20 plus years and am enrolled to vote in Juneau. Would I be eligible for the college student assistance, or would I still go through Angoon?
To answer that question, we do have an appeal system. So what I would recommend is you contact Angoon first and see if you're eligible for services with them. And if not, request a denial letter. And then you would submit that denial letter with our application to our office to be reviewed by our director, Sarah Dibdahl. Great.
And Ann followed up with that. Also, my son was born and raised in Juneau and will be graduating from high school soon. Will he be eligible for the CSA, or does his origin follow mine?
It follows his, but if he went to high school here, we also consider that as him being more of a Juneau recipient. But he, again, would need to verify that he is not eligible with Angoon Community Association.
Great, thank you. Are there any important or exciting virtual events coming up? Are there any fundraising opportunities in the future?
President Peterson, I guess what I would share is that it is our goal going into 2021 to do a fundraiser, and working with Office of the President on an auction or other exciting opportunity, and we can keep our tribal citizens posted as it's decided.
Great. From Kay Simmons, can a donation be made to the alumni scholarship and have that donation be earmarked for a specific area of study. An example would be culinary arts, sports medicine, etc. How are donations awarded? You know, Sarah, I think I would, correct me if I'm wrong, but if somebody wanted to make a specific donation that was designated for an area of study, I think we would absolutely work with them to accommodate that, and appreciate that very much.
Yes, and then to answer the second part of the question is the way the alumni scholarship is awarded is based on whatever funds we're able to raise that year and the number of applicants, we distribute that equally is how we determine the award amount. And one thing that brings to mind is that we do have a set deadline on the alumni scholarship. It opens July 1 and closes September 15th, because that kind of gives us the window to know our time frame for fundraising and distributing, and you know, separate from the CSA that has a rolling deadline.
Great. From Martin Gonet, can a tribal business from Anchorage use the T&H program? And I think maybe that's towards Barb or Teresa.
Can you repeat the question, President Peterson? Thank you.
Can a tribal business from Anchorage utilize the T&H program?
Our service area is on Southeast Alaska, so that would not be for my program, unfortunately.
Right.
The same goes for me. Training is provided.
Lift them up and make sorry. Good.
But we certainly have two tribal voc rehab programs in Anchorage. One is with Cook Inlet, and I've transferred cases from Juneau to there, and vice versa. And also Aleutian Pribilof Island Association is also a tribal voc rehab department there also. So there are options for our tribal citizens. Mostly they go to Cook Inlet, which is awesome. And I know the manager there, and we do have meetings on a quarterly basis as a consortia. So we talk about clients that we may have, or tribal citizens in their area.
Thank you, Teresa. One of the things that I'd like to encourage folks to do, if you're looking for resources, and if for whatever reason you fall outside of funding ability, whether that's because of the service area or whatever, I think it'd be good if you still reach out to us, because a lot of times, as Teresa just illustrated, we know resources that we can at least assist pointing you in. You know, we're really frustrated by the service area answer as well. We're working to fix that. You know, unfortunately, funding, federal government funding, is designated by area. And so we fall in those categories more often than not. And unfortunately, it really hurts us too to say no to our tribal citizens that live outside of service area. We're really working to, as a tribe, to achieve that economic sovereignty, so that we can put our own money into our own programs and have that self-determination to decide how we're going to administer it. And it is our goal. We are taking it very serious. Our executive council has had that as a priority. We've been forming new businesses. We're in areas of government contracting, and in the coming years, we'll see profit distribution back to the tribe that can fund these unfunded requests through our programs. And so, you know, I don't want to sound disingenuous by saying, well, stay tuned and keep following, but really that's where we're at in a lot of ways. And I can tell you, our executive council, you know, reflects our citizenry. You know, I know that Vice President Catherine Edwards lives in the Seattle area. Vice President Tasha Hotch lives in the Anchorage area. And so, you know, I can promise you that the service area question is constantly discussed, and we want to have that change So, you know, we appreciate the frustration. We share your frustration. I'm not kind of passing the buck or anything by saying this. This is our unfortunate reality. But I can also say we have solutions. We see, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. And we hope to soon be able to start servicing our tribal citizens wherever they live. Because we know wherever you live, you're still Tlingit Haida. And we want you to feel like, you know, your tribe knows you matter because you do. So I don't see any other questions, and I know we're kind of early. Are there more questions coming in?
President Peterson, as they look, can I share about the scholarship workshop?
Please do.
So our Navigators program will be hosting a scholarship workshop on January 11th, and the flyer is posted on the tribe's Facebook page. And so I encourage those high schoolers that are getting ready to prepare to go into college that would like assistance on the different applications that are out there, our own and others, and also the FAFSA, to please register for that event that our Navigators program is hosting.
Great.
President Peterson, if we get any requests from anyone throughout the United States that are tribally enrolled, I will work with the local tribal voc rehab program and make the referral, give them the address and the number. I've had requests from Wisconsin to Connecticut to Seattle. So I'm diligent about trying to get the best information for them possible to make sure that they're hooked up with some type of service within the state. The state DVR programs are much larger than us. They are in Anchorage and do services with the other tribal VR programs as well. So if they don't have their enrollment, they can certainly go to the state DVR for services, and I will follow up with them also, get the release of information to make sure that I can talk with them on our tribal citizens' behalf.
Yeah, that's a really great point, Teresa. You know, I get contacted quite a bit by family members inquiring on behalf of a family member. I really can't speak to you about your family members' issues unless they explicitly, you know, send us that form saying that you can. And I know that's hard, but that's just another reality. A question for Martin Gonet: does the CARES Act money still have to be spent by December 31st? It's actually December 30th. I'm not sure why they didn't use the 31st, but yes, unfortunately, we've been following and tracking very closely the bills in Congress right now. Senator Murkowski co-sponsored a bill to extend the CARES Act till September of 2021. We're still waiting. We keep hearing that it was going to get passed today, but you know, we can't control kind of the political mechanisms that are going on in Congress right now. I say reach out to your elected officials wherever you live. Heck, especially if you don't live in Alaska, reach out to your elected senator and Congress people and demand that they do this. You know, it would be a great benefit to all of our tribal citizens. So can CARES Act be used or earmarked for employment and training outside the service area? No, that's not what the money is intended for. So sorry, no. And I don't know if there are any more questions or if there's any comments that our panelists would like to make.
I would like to share something if that's okay, President Peterson.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Higher education can offer general assistance to eligible full-time compact students as well. That helps out with rental assistance and supplemental money. You can apply for that each month, and you can contact me for more information on that. I will put my email address in the comments.
Thank you.
Sorry, one more thing. We also have the great opportunity of helping kids who are compact full-time students with a laptop if they are in need of one. They just need to let me know.
Awesome. Well, that looks like that concludes all the questions that we've gotten. We are ahead of time, and that's okay too. Do we have our winners for our door prize this week? Great. We have, again, if I get this wrong, I apologize. Is it Darlene Baird won a Hydro Flask, and Kim Whitson won a Formline t-shirt. If you message this Facebook page your information, we'll make sure to get those out to you. And again, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. We hope this was informational, good information for you that you can use. We do, you can always find these archived in our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. And we encourage you to share these with folks because we think there's some good information that will help them answer some questions. We want to thank our sponsors, Sacred Ground, Smokehouse Catering, Sacred Shrine Auto Detailing, and Elizabeth Bradovich Hall. And these are some of our for-profit businesses that we're building and hoping to see return so that we can eliminate the service area issue. I see Tasha Hodge asks, and I think we probably can't answer that now, but we can probably on the comment section. Can you share how many tribal citizens have been able to achieve higher degrees of education because of our scholarship programs, and how many have gained employment? Gained employment is going to be fluid, but we might have those numbers. If we do, we can put those in the comment section. Again, I want to thank our panelists this week for joining us. They really put their heart and souls into serving our citizens, and I appreciate them joining us today to share that information and consider them a resource. Again, if you have questions, reach out. I see Christina shared her email, and others might have, but I really appreciate that. Next week, we're going to have a special lunchtime chat on Wednesday, and the topic is going to be a presentation and question and answer on the COVID-19 vaccine. We're going to be joined by our partners in health from Search, Dr. Elliot Brule. I want to thank Search. They've been a great partner through this pandemic, providing information. I know that the matter of vaccine is a personal choice, and I think that folks should, before they make a decision whether they're going to get it or not, really need the information. And so this is our effort to really provide as current and up-to-date information so that people can make an informed decision. And I'm really excited that we're going to have that. That lunchtime chat will be our last one for 2020. And we'll be off for a couple weeks and be back in 2021. I think around January 7th will be our next one after this. So again, I think that's an incredibly timely and important topic, and really please encourage people to join us live so you can ask questions directly. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. Everybody, please be well, please wear a mask, and we'll see you then. Thank you.